Okay, today we're going to be making the most silky, creamy, effortlessly elegant panna cotta. It's simple to make, uses only a handful of ingredients, and we're going to dress it up with a beautiful, easy mixed berry sauce that just takes this panna cotta to another level. So to start off, you want to bloom your gelatin. So in a medium-sized jug that holds at least kind of 4 cups of liquid, you want to add in 120 grams or half a cup of cold whole milk, and to that add in 12 grams or 4 teaspoons of gelatin powder. Give that a good mix and then just set it aside to bloom. It needs at least kind of 5 minutes or so to bloom properly. Now in the meantime, you want to place a medium saucepan over a medium-low heat and add in a further 120 grams or half a cup of whole milk, 480 grams or 2 cups of heavy cream, 80 grams or 6.5 tablespoons of white granulated sugar, and 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla or 1 whole vanilla pod. You want to give that a good stir and then heat the mixture up just until it starts to gently bubble. Now as soon as you see any bubbles, you want to take it off the heat immediately. Now you just want to let this cool for about 5 minutes before we add it to our gelatin, because if it's too hot when we add it to our bloom gelatin, then it can cause the gelatin to lose its strength and then your panna cotta won't set up properly. Now at this point, your gelatin should be bloomed and the gelatin mixture should be slightly thick. And now once the cream mixture has cooled for 5 minutes, you want to slowly pour it into the gelatin mixture while continuously mixing. Now once the hot cream mixture is added to the gelatin, you want to continue to mix for a couple of minutes until the gelatin is completely dissolved. You can take a little of the mixture and feel it between your fingers, and you shouldn't be able to feel any of the gelatin granules. Now if you are using vanilla pods in your panna cotta, then I would recommend straining the mixture after the gelatin has completely dissolved, just to make sure that there aren't kind of any little big bits in there. Now the next step is super important in making sure that the panna cotta sets well and doesn't separate, and that is to place your jug or bowl over ice cold water and mix every now and then until the panna cotta is cold to the touch. It would have ever so slightly thickened as well. Now if you're using vanilla pods, then this step also prevents all those little specks of vanilla from sinking to the bottom of the panna cotta. Now if you want to be super precise about the temperature, then it should be around kind of 25°C or 75°F, but if you don't have a thermometer, don't worry. As long as you touch the panna cotta and it feels slightly cold to the touch, then you know it's ready. So the mixture is ready now. I can feel that it's slightly cold to the touch when I put a little bit of it on my fingers. And now you want to very lightly grease 4 3.5-inch or 6-ounce ramekins with some unflavored vegetable oil, just a very small amount. You can also use smaller ramekins or bowls and you'll get a few more panna cottas out of this mixture. Now you just want to pour the panna cotta mixture into the ramekins. Now if you see any large air bubbles on the tops of your panna cotta, then simply just tap your ramekin lightly on your counter and this should get rid of any air bubbles. And then I like to cover the tops with some cling wrap, and this will just prevent any odors from your fridge getting into your panna cotta. Okay, and now these are going to go into the fridge to set for a minimum of 4 hours or overnight. Now while the panna cotta is setting, we're going to make a simple berry sauce to go on the top. So place a small saucepan over a medium heat and add in 210 grams or 1.5 cups of frozen berries, 50 grams or a 1/4 cup of white granulated sugar, and 3/4 tablespoon of freshly squeezed lemon juice. Give that a good stir and then bring it to a gentle simmer. And then you just want to continue to cook until the berries are softened and the mixture has slightly thickened. Now once that's done, you just want to transfer it to a bowl or container to cool. So I did make a batch of panna cotta earlier on today, which should be set by now. You can see that it's nice and firm, but still has a slight jiggle in the center when I shake it. Now, if you are demolding these, then what you want to do is first run a sharp knife around the top edge of the panna cotta to break the tight seal at the top. Now you want to place the ramekin into some hot water for about 5 seconds, and then you want to lift it out and wipe the bottom of the ramekin dry, and then place a saucer over the top and then flip the ramekin over. Now Now, it may require a little bit of shaking to get it out, but it should eventually slip out. If it doesn't, just place it back into the hot water for a few seconds and try again. Now, how beautiful does this panna cotta look? And it has such a good wobble to it too. You don't want a firm jelly-like panna cotta that barely moves. You want it to kind of, have a really good jiggle to it. Now, this is an example of what happens when you leave your panna cotta in the hot water for a little bit too long. So you can see it's kind of got that excess liquid there. It's not a bad thing. It still tastes amazing, but if you don't want it there, you can just use like a clean paper towel to kind of soak up that excess liquid on the edges. Now all that's left to do is place that beautiful berry sauce on top, which should be nice and cool by now, and then it is ready to serve. This panna cotta is honestly so rich and creamy and just has the most luxurious texture to it. And those berries just add a wonderful tart flavor to the panna cotta and balances out the richness perfectly. That is just divine. It is so creamy and so refreshing. It's just like got such a wonderful richness to it, but still really nice and light. It is honestly one of my all-time favorite desserts, and it literally feels like you're eating out of like a luxurious restaurant. So that is it for today, guys. If you do decide to give this gorgeous panna cotta a go and you love it just as much as I do, then please do leave a review on my blog. It really helps my content out, and I absolutely love hearing from you guys. I'll see you in the next video.